Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today, your primetime destination news, newsmakers, talking points. The big talking point will be coming this Wednesday night from what happened in Parliament, this Thursday night from what happened inside Parliament. But first, the 9 headlines at 9. Home Minister Amidst Shah's first response after the major Parliament security breach. Home Minister says wait for the Speaker to release probe report, accuses opposition of politicizing the breach of security. The 4 accused of breaching parliamentary security sent to 7-day police custody. Probe reveals they hatched the plan in 2022. 2 accused also held for doing a parliament recce. 14 opposition MPs suspended amidst chaos in the House over the parliament breach. The DMK MP was absent, also was suspended. Opposition calls suspensions the death knell of democracy, says Parliament isn't being allowed to function. Allahabad High Court orders survey of Mathura's Eidgah Mosque in the Krishna Janmabhoomi case. Advocate Commissioner to carry out the survey. It's Congress versus left government as massive crowds continue to throng the Sabarimala temple. Congress claims mismanagement. Chief Minister Vijay maintains crowd rush not unusual. Chennai Oil Spill post the cyclone triggers concern after it crosses at least 20 square kilometers into the sea. Stalin government directs State Pollution Control Board to clear the spill. Nearly 8 months since violence first erupted in Manipur, nearly 60 dead bodies of those killed in the violence have been finally airlifted out of morgues in Imphal and Churachandpur. Another setback for jailed AAP Neta Manish Sisodia. Top court dismisses his review plea against bail rejection in the Liquorgate scam probe. And India's wholesale inflation reaches an 8-month high in November after having contracted earlier, mainly owing to rising prices of food and other key commodities. But our top story tonight comes from Parliament, where a massive political face-off over the security breach inside Parliament. The opposition today kept raising the issue of the security breach, demanding an answer from Home Minister Amidst Shah. Several of the opposition MPs were suspended, including the TMC's Derek O'Brien and 14 from the Lok Sabha, for allegedly not allowing the House to function. The opposition claims that the government simply is ringing the death knell of parliamentary democracy. We'll discuss that in a moment, but first take a look at the drama that unfolded in Parliament today.
The biggest parliament security breach since the terror attack in 2001 has now sparked a showdown in the House, with the opposition trying to corner the Narendra Modi government. The opposition disrupted proceedings in the Lok Sabha, demanding answers from Home Minister Amidst Shah. Similar scenes played out in the Rajya Sabha as well.
Hereby name Shri Derek O'Brien. Derek O'Brien is hereby named to leave the House immediately. What are you doing?
In the upper house, TMC parliamentary party leader Derek O'Brien was suspended from the remainder of the winter session.
Having taken a serious note of the ignoble misconduct of Sri Derek O'Brien, has been continuously shouting slogans, gesticulating aggressively at the chair, thereby disrupting proceedings of the House.
Similarly, in the Lok Sabha, 14 opposition members of parliament, including Kanimore of the DMK and Manikam Tagore of the Congress party, were suspended. The Modi government, while not giving in to the demands by the opposition for a debate and statement by the Home Minister, listed past instances of security breach.
In the past also, many such incidents have been taken place. I am not comparing the past incidents, but we have to learn lesson from our past to bring the bright future.
The government has urged the House to speak in one voice.
In my opinion, this matter concerns us all, and we have to speak in one voice, sir, on such a grave national issue. No politics is expected to be done by anyone on such issues.
This is a clear hypocritic stand of this government is witnessing nowadays. The person who was responsible for entire this breach of responsibility is sitting in the house, Pratap Sinha MP. On the other side, the MPs who's demanding for a reply from the government on the serious breach of security had been suspended.
इनके हाथ में देश सुरक्षित नहीं है और इसलिए हम सदन में इसको लगातार उठाते रहेंगे और मजबूर करेंगे। गृह मंत्री जी आइए, बड़ी-बड़ी बात करने से ही कोई बड़ा नहीं होता।
The opposition, however, is showing no signs of backing down. Sources say India bloc leaders will be seeking an appointment with the President Draupadi Murmu, that to raise the issue of the Parliament's security breach. They are also demanding a joint parliamentary committee consisting of members with prior experience in policing, security and law to be set up to investigate the breach. The Bharatiya Janata Party, on the other hand, is pointing fingers at the opposition. The party's IT cell chief posted old images and videos of one of the accused, Neelam, taking part in the protests earlier, calling her an Andolan Jeevi and a supporter, allegedly, of the Congress party. Bureau Report, India Today.
And in his first response a short while ago, Union Home Minister Amidst Shah at the Aaj Tak conclave claimed that the opposition should wait for the Speaker to release the probe report accusing the opposition of politicizing the breach of security. Listen in.
सर, आप देश के गृह मंत्री हैं। संसद भवन में पार्लियामेंट अटैक की बरसी पर एक बार फिर से एक ऐसा वाकया हुआ जिसको लेकर देश में लोग सोच रहे हैं कि अरे नहीं, पार्लियामेंट की बिल्डिंग में ये आखिरकार क्या हुआ। सबने उन तस्वीरों को देखा। देश के गृह मंत्री के तौर पे आपको अब तक क्या पता चला है कि ये कौन लोग हैं, कैसे आए, क्यों आए और क्यों ये चूक हुई?
देखिए, ये बड़ा गंभीर मसला है और लोकसभा अध्यक्ष जी ने इसका गंभीर संज्ञान लिया है। विपक्ष इस पर राजनीति कर रहा है। मैं ऐसा नहीं कह रहा कि इसमें कहीं ना कहीं कोई चूक नहीं हुई। चूक निश्चित हुई, तभी तो घटना हुई है, परंतु इस पर राजनीति करे। सबको मालूम है कि पार्लियामेंट सिक्योरिटी लोकसभा अध्यक्ष के तहत रहती है। अध्यक्ष जी ने भारत सरकार के गृह मंत्रालय को एक पत्र लिखा है, हमने एक कमेटी बनाई है। देश के सीनियर मोस्ट डीजीपी में से एक डीजीपी के नेतृत्व में एक कमेटी बनी है और उसमें ढेर सारी एजेंसियों के सदस्य भी है। कुछ ही दिनों में इसकी रिपोर्ट अध्यक्ष जी के पास जाएगी और मुझे लगता है अध्यक्ष जी ही इसको प्रकाशित करे ज्यादा उचित है। ऐसी जितनी भी घटनाएं हुई, करीब करीब 40 घटनाएं हुई, जिसमें पर्चा डालने से लेकर, नारा लगाने से लेकर, पिस्तौल लेकर अंदर आ जाना, सदन के अंदर कूद जाना, ये तक की घटनाएं हुई और हर बार लोकसभा अध्यक्ष ने ही इसका संज्ञान लिया है और अध्यक्ष जी ने एक कमेटी बनाकर इसकी जांच करी है। हमने एफआईआर भी रजिस्टर कर दिया है, जांच की कमेटी भी बन रही है। मुझे लगता है 15-20 दिन में वो लोग अपनी रिपोर्ट लोकसभा स्पीकर साहब को सौंप देंगे। मगर मैं इतना सुनिश्चित करता हूं क्योंकि उन्होंने जो कमेटी का परव्यू बनाया है, घटना की भी जांच करने के लिए कमेटी को काम सौंपा है और लोकसभा की सुरक्षा को आगे कैसे चुस्त दुरुस्त किया जाए वो भी काम सौंपा है और दोनों काम ये कमेटी बहुत अच्छे से करेगी। ये मैं देश की जनता को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं कि एकदम चुस्त दुरुस्त सुरक्षा व्यवस्था आगे पर हो, इसका हम ध्यान रखेंगे। कई बार सुरक्षा में सैंड लगाने वाले नए नए तरीके लेकर लूफोल्स ढूंढते रहते हैं। लूफोल्स होना नहीं चाहिए, वो आइडियल चीज है, मगर अब वो ढूंढाई है तो इसको फिल करने का हमारा जिम्मेदारी है और मेरा सभी से अपील है कि इसको राजनीतिक मुद्दा न बनाया जाए।
So let's raise the big questions. Who is accountable for the parliament breach? Is the security breach being politicized as the Home Minister claims? Or has the security breach simply embarrassed the Home Minister and the Modi government? Joining me now is Tuhin Sinha, he's BJP spokesperson. Nasir Hussain is senior Congress MP. Yashovardhan Azad is former IPS officer. Appreciate all of you joining us. Nasir Hussain, you want to respond to what you just heard from the Home Minister? He claims the opposition is politicizing the issue. Why don't you wait for the Speaker's probe report this is an issue of national concern, not of an individual party.
Rajdeep, let me ask you, what was the opposition asking for in both the houses? The opposition MPs were asking for a statement from the Home Minister. Home Minister, instead of going to India Today conclave and addressing the people, he could have first addressed to the Parliament members when the Parliament is in session. The Parliament is in session. He could have said the same thing there in the Parliament. After 22 years of the attack by some external forces on the Parliament, that day I had gone to give Shraddhanjali to all those constables who had lost lives 22 years ago in the attack to the Parliament. Then in the afternoon, all of a sudden, I was in Rajya Sabha, we find that there's some pandemonium breaking out, some smoke bombs and somebody jumping and all those news came up. Then what would be the reaction of the Parliament members? They said that they want to know what is happening, who are these people, how did they get in, what is the breach of, how did this breach of security take place?
No, government is saying wait for the probe report. Mr. Hussain, government is saying wait for... No, but you can wait. It's 24 hours since this has happened. You can wait for the probe report. What is the urgency?
See, Rajdeep, he would have immediately, both the Lok Sabha Speaker and the Chairman of Rajya Sabha must have got some report by then. The Home Minister, who is supposed to have the report of the security of the entire country, must have got some report by then. Whatever report that was there with them, they could have come and given a statement there. And the next day, that is today, we asked for a detailed discussion on this issue. Now, why is the government every time running away? Why is the government so adamant and so arrogant? And then you don't suspend a member of Parliament who has brought these people in his own car to the Parliament. You are not suspending him just because he is a member of the ruling party. Had it been the member of opposition, some opposition party, he would have been fired. He would have been disqualified from the Parliament. So you don't suspend a member of Parliament because he is from the treasury bunches who brought these people inside. And this is not the first time that these intruders had come. They had gone there earlier on the same MPs passes. Just hold on. Same MPs passes, and then they had done a recce earlier. Now, you don't suspend them, and you suspend the MPs who are asking for a statement of the Home Minister. And this is the level of democracy you want to practice in the country.
Respond
and if you don't give security to the MPs while in session, if you don't give security to MPs while in session, how will you defend the borders? How will you defend this? How will you give security to people of our country?
Okay, you've made your point. I'm going to go in a moment to one of the suspended MPs, but Tuin Sinha, why don't you respond? Because the fact is that the opposition and the country has the right to know. And the fact is that you have suspended opposition MPs for carrying placards or allegedly unruly behavior, but the MP in whose car reportedly these people came into the house, no action is taken against him. I mean, it appears at the moment that the moment the opposition flags off any issue, the first reaction of the speaker and the vice chair and the chairperson in the Rajya Sabha, the vice president, is to suspend them. I mean, this seems to hardly the way you will enhance democracy.
Well, Rajdeep, the episode that happened in Parliament, the attack inside the Parliament yesterday, has an uncanny resemblance with another unsavory episode that had happened nearly 45 years ago on 28th December 1978, when a plane traveling from Calcutta was hijacked by two young men and taken to Banaras. Later, it was found out that they were two Congress karyakartas who were later rewarded with MLA tickets. I'm not saying that such a thing has happened over here.
No, what's the connection? The problem is, please answer the question, Mr. Sinha. The fact is, the government does not want any uncomfortable questions to be raised in Parliament. The Parliament does not belong only to the government. It also belongs to the opposition.
No, you can't choose my words. I'm exactly answering your question. Certainly, the attack was of a very bizarre nature, and therefore the preliminary report, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha has been tasked with submitting the preliminary report. You know, unlike your leader Rahul Gandhi, when the Home Minister Amit Shah speaks, he speaks with all the facts and all the information, and he can go on for 1 hour. So you must appreciate that. You know, he's not making a hasty statement on a very bizarre episode. we have thwarted. Now, the Congress leader was talking about security of the country. You must understand that we have thwarted Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, but this is a new breed of hybrid terror, Andolan Jivis and urban Naxals, who are disguised like any normal person.
Sir, these so-called Andolan Jivis, as you're calling them, have come with a BJP MP. I mean, the fact is, 1 minute, Mr. Hussain, 1 minute. Mr. Hussain, you had your turn. The fact is, Mr. Tuhin Sinha, they came in with a BJP MP giving them the visitor's pass. It's a question whether they came in his car or not. That is still to be the subject of investigation. But you can't give a clean chit in this manner. I mean, for God's sake, there must be some responsibility, accountability taken at some stage by someone in government.
No, Rajdeep, I'm certainly not giving a clean sheet to anybody. Certainly there has been a security lapse, and why the security lapse has happened is because of the evolving nature of terrorism. Today, unfortunately, most of the MPs are pretty lax when it comes to issuing, visitors cards. The mere criteria seems to be submitting your Aadhaar or submitting your PAN card. And I think, it's a huge learning lesson for us also. We will need to be more vigilant in future because, this new breed of terrorists come disguised as, anybody. They could be anybody. They're white collar.
Okay, you made your point. Nasir Hussain, you'll have to be a little patient because Maneka Tagore is waiting. He's the suspended Congress MP. Maneka Tagore, your first reactions to your suspension. You were suspended today. The government says you've been suspended for, or so the Speaker's office says, for unruly behavior. Your response?
The Lok Sabha was attacked yesterday and the Home Minister was not there. And today we gave an adjournment motion asking for the Home Minister, Mr. Amidst Shah's statement because the Delhi police and the intelligence failure is there. Therefore, the Home Minister, Mr. Amidst Shah, must come to the House and make a statement. That is the demand. For that, the adjournment motion was not accepted. Then when we insisted, we had been suspended. This is the way when a parliament is being attacked.
No, you're being accused of going into the well of the House holding placards. That's part of the reason apparently that you all have been suspended. Did you go into the well of the House? Did you take placards in the well of the House?
When we are not given the opportunity, when the Speaker is not ready to hear us, we have to show to him what we wanted to raise. We wanted to show the piece of paper, that is whatever they call it as placard or something. We wanted that Home Minister, Mr. Amidst Shah, must come to the Parliament and answer. That's the question we have been asking. Because it's a failure of Mr. Amidst Shah. Amidst Shah is a failed Home Minister now.
He's saying that he is ready to make a statement. He's saying you're politicizing the issue.
Who is politicizing? BJP is politicizing. The hate troll army chief Amit Malviya yesterday itself has started to spread wrong photoshopped photographs. Who is politicizing? We are a responsible party. We are governed this country for 60 years. We know the pain of people and we have been responsible. We are not named anybody, called anybody urban Escalates, whatever the spokesperson, BJP spokesperson without any responsibility is calling. That kind of names we are not called. We are not called these RSS people who had become MPs and others who had facilitated those intruders into the parliament for giving passes to them. You believe you have nothing to be apologetic about. You believe you have nothing to be apologetic about. We are demanding the Home Minister to come and reply because he's a failed Home Minister. Okay. He travels he can give speeches in Parliament with a bunch of lies. But he's a failed Home Minister. Mr. Amidst Shah must come to Parliament. Until that thing, we will continue our fight.
Okay. Maneka Tagore, I appreciate you joining me. I want to before I come to you, Nasir Hussain, let's just hear for a moment from an expert voice in Yashowardhan Azad. Yashowardhan Azad, do you believe that this is a security breach major enough for the Home Minister at the very least to make a statement inside Parliament? I'll quote what Mr. P. Chidambaram has said a short while ago. He said, all we wanted is at least a statement that when there is an extraordinary breach of security in Parliament, citizens expect that the Prime Minister or Home Minister will make a suo motu statement. Do you believe that this is an extraordinary breach of security?
I want to make 3 points, Rajdeep. First, it is a serious security lapse, serious enough for a Home Minister to come to the House and accept there is a lapse. Why? Because prima facie, his security experts can tell him immediately where the lapse occurred and why it occurred. It occurred while the personal screening of these two gentlemen was done. This was done in a ham-handed manner. This was not done looking into the occasion of 13 December, how important it was. And thirdly, it is carrying on in a routinized fashion where the shoes are not being checked, when even in airport, this has already started. Number three, I would also say that this kind of an inquiry will barely take 2 days, because it is well known that because the plastics are not identified during the metal checks, which is done by the DFMD or HHMD, and time and again, since time immemorial, we are only doing HHMD and DFMD. This was not being checked. In 2 days, the inquiry report can come, and the opposition should certainly wait and then discuss this.
Okay.
These 3 points also reveal another point, Rajdeep. My last point is that this is not the work, this should not be done by speaker or any kind of a jurisdiction. This should be headed by an NSA with security experts, which are the CPOs, the IB, etc. Immediately you'll get how much of security audit was done, which should have been done. What about the physical infrastructure, which should have been refurbished during last 3 years?
Right.
Why a joint security chief was not posted over there? And then you can see which heads can roll. It's a serious lapse, and it calls for a serious reply, not this cacophony of charges and counter charges at a political level.
Okay, this is calls for a very serious inquiry, Nasir Hussain, a bipartisan inquiry. An inquiry that has, possibly if it's a parliamentary inquiry, members of parliament, but at the end of the day, this is a security breach, requires top-level security inquiry. Is it the Congress party and the opposition's case that the government is not serious about it? Do you really want the country to believe that the government is not serious about the security of MPs?
Rajiv, what would you think when such a serious security breach has taken place? Neither the Home Minister wants to come to the Parliament and brief the parliamentarians as to what has happened. Neither any other senior leader wants to come and brief the parliamentarians. You tell me one thing: if the Parliament building where the top elected representatives of the people sit and discuss about the future of the country, even if that place is not secure.
No, but do you believe the government? Are you telling me, Nasir Hussain, do you really believe that the government? No, Mr. Nasir Hussain, security breaches obviously need to be treated with great sensitivity, especially in the Lok Sabha and the manner in which it's happened. I don't think there can be any question on that. My question is, do you really believe that the Home Minister is not serious about this, or that asking for his resignation is going to resolve anything?
Rajdeep, if in the past, if a train accident has taken place and the railway minister has resigned, if some other tragedy has taken place and the concerned minister has resigned, if the minister concerned, if the minister responsible for the security of the country and security of the parliament, if he doesn't even want to make a statement, how do we deal with the situation?
Okay, don't
you think these members of parliament have a right
to know
what has happened? Let the inquiry take place. Let the inquiry take place. Whatever prima facie, just a second. Yes. Whatever little information that they have to share. See, smoke bombs, canisters, jumping from the gallery, and they are coming in a BJP MP's car. See, these are all the things which are there on already public domain. But what is important is somebody from the side of the ministry should come and brief both the houses. That's what we were asking. Okay. And even if you don't want that to happen, and if asking that is undemocratic, and then you are punishing the MPs, those are asking for a statement and not punishing the MP who has brought these people in the parliament, and because of which this incident has taken place. So
okay.
If this is the way they want to function in a biased manner, this is the way they want to protect their own MPs, whatever they have done, then God only knows what will happen to this country. How will they defend this country?
Okay, you made your point. You made it strongly. Tuin Sinha, the fact is, the very least that the government... No, 1 minute.
Rajdeep, 1 minute, sir. Person was speaking up.
Mr. Tuin Sinha, the very least the government should be doing is making an official statement in Parliament. It appears that the Gujarat model has come to Delhi. In Gujarat, whenever the opposition would ask any question, immediately MPs and MLAs used to be suspended. I mean, what is going on? Are we saying that the opposition of this country has no right to ask questions? Every session, all that happens is the moment there's an uncomfortable question, whether it's on COVID, whether it's on China. No, sir, 1 minute, Mr. Nasir Hussain, allow me to guide. Mr. Tuin Sinha, the fact is this government doesn't want to answer uncomfortable questions in Parliament. I mean, this seems to be the model you've adopted. I mean, that's not the way Parliament works.
On the contrary, the Congress party needs to give up its my way or the highway approach on important issues. Even on Manipur, we were prepared for a discussion on all issues threadbare, but it was their insistence on using a particular clause for the discussion, which would have meant that, no other business would be taken up in the House. Similarly, today, the Honorable Home Minister has made it very clear that since the security, the primary, onus is on the Speaker, we are waiting for a report from him, and the Honorable Home Minister will definitely speak about it.
Could the Honorable Home Minister have not said exactly what you have said inside, Mr. Tuin Sinha? The Honorable Home Minister could have said exactly what you have said inside Parliament, that we are waiting for it. It seems at the moment the government doesn't want to answer any inconvenient questions, and if you ask those questions, you are suspended.
On the issue of national security, we don't need sermons from Congress party. You are aware of the track record of the Congress party between 2005 to 2008. On an average, a bomb blast would take place every 30 to 40 days. Today we have combated it, so we don't need sermons from the Congress party on national security. No, the MPs were not suspended because they were asking questions. They were suspended because of repeated hooliganism. Derek O'Brien is a repeat offender. Even in 2014, when the Telangana bill was introduced, he was tearing the bill. Even during the farm bill, he was tearing the bill. Even today, he was doing something similar. Rahul Gandhi was winking and throwing paper planes when Nirmala Sitharaman, the then defense minister, was speaking on Rafale. So repeated hooliganism from the Congress party is not acceptable to this government.
Okay, you're calling it repeated hooliganism. Let Nasir Hussain now respond. Nasir Hussain, this is perception. The perception will go that yes, the government is not making a statement on the floor of the House, but the opposition is resorting to unruly scenes as a result.
Rajdeep, I want to make 2-3 points here. One on the question of Manipur. BJP spokesperson was mentioning about some clause. It is not about some clause. It is about the rule through which the business takes place in both the houses. We wanted a detailed discussion, while the BJP, after 1 week of protest, had come out with an idea of discussing it for 2 hours. 2 hours, where there are 26 parties representing the country in the House, and they wanted to have a discussion for 2 hours. And the kind of seriousness they have for the security of the country can be understood by the fact that the Prime Minister has still not gone to Manipur, and no senior minister has still gone to Manipur. Now they speak about the security of the country. Last time, 22 years ago, when there was an attack on the Parliament, again it was BJP that was there in the government at that time. And I would like to remind this spokesperson of BJP that at that time Home Minister had come and made a statement in the Parliament. Why is this Home Minister shying away from making a statement in the Parliament? Asking a statement is hooliganism. Shouting, protesting inside the Parliament is hooliganism. Shouting slogans inside the Parliament is hooliganism. Then let them go and refer to what.
No, but it is not. Tuin Sinha, with due apologies, it is not the Defence Minister's department. It is not the Defence Minister. It is the Home Minister who is in charge of security.
That's precisely what we are saying. The Congress needs to grow out of its my way or the highway attitude. The Congress can't tell us how to perform our responsibilities in Parliament. We are performing the responsibilities. We are serious about national security, but it seems the Congress will tell us exactly what to do.
And if you don't give a statement, we have to keep going.
Can I just get the 2 volumes down, because producer, the viewers will not, I understand this is an issue that has agitated many, and Yashovardhan Azad, MPs are perfectly entitled to worry about what happened yesterday, because it could have got much worse. Do you believe that the government needs to, at the very least, come up with a better statement than what they've come out so far with, which is in Parliament silence and suspension, and outside Parliament saying, look, the Speaker is filing a probe report? Because for a long time, many MPs have been complaining that in the new Parliament building, security could be a problem.
Absolutely right. I mean, I totally agree with you. In fact, Rajdeep, let me add another matter of very, very serious concern as to why it should draw the attention of the government. Suppose the Prime Minister was in the House at that particular point of time. The SPG, if they would have seen these people, jumping from desk to desk like monkeys, would have had no option first to evacuate the Prime Minister and then to shoot at these fellows to neutralize the threat. It is extremely important for a government at this particular point of time to make a statement. Number one, that there is a serious security breach, because if those fumes could have been noxious, which were carried in the plastic bottles, then, fatalities would have happened. Number two, the opposition should also realize that for an inquiry, it will take 2 days, and they should be ready for participation in the debate after 2 days. But the point is, prima facie, it is very clear how the fault has occurred, how the security lapse has occurred at that particular point of time. It is also important to see whether technology like the backscatter technology, which can trace plastic, is it there in the Parliament House or not? But if you realize that the security head himself is not there, and has not been there for 1 year, then it calls for a serious probe. Secondly, by the way, the CRPF, which is the largest organization, the CPO, which is around the Parliament House, is also headless. The CISF is also headless. So these are issues which need to be looked into. And then certainly the head should roll.
Okay.
It is not difficult. This inquiry can be done in a couple of hours, actually. And I'm glad that it has been given to ITBP, because a very, very serious. The last point I want to make is an MP is certainly responsible for the persons he sends as guests. I have seen since 1960s that the MPs do it in a routine fashion. Every MP belonging to any party does not really look at the so you can't really blame that MP, though it is written that he'll be responsible, that he's my relative, he's my friend, etc., etc.
Okay.
But certainly,
I've taken your point.
Which has happened, the way it has happened, can certainly be looked into and rectified, which is the need of the hour right now.
Are you willing to be patient, Nasir Hussain? Wait for 2 more days. According to Yashovardhan Azad, this inquiry doesn't require more than 48 hours. Are you ready to wait till Monday?
Rajdeep, let the inquiry go on. Let the inquiry go on. Let the team that has been interested with the inquiry should inquire it in detail. But primary findings, primary information will have to be shared with the Parliament member. 1. 2. My question, I think the BJP spokesperson has not answered. A person who has brought these guys inside the Parliament has not been questioned, has not been suspended.
Okay.
But on the other hand, 15 MPs from both the houses have been suspended for asking for a statement.
I take your point. I take your point.
Were taken inside.
I take your point, Mr. Hussain.
Bombs, all these bombs
Mr.
were taken
Hussain, I
inside.
take your point.
So I think we have a right to know what has happened, and it is the responsibility of the government to make a statement. Especially the Home Minister has to make a statement in the Parliament.
Okay, let me leave it there. Pratap Simha at the moment has only made a statement to camera and apparently to the Lok Sabha Speaker, Tuhin Sinha. Pratap Simha at the moment, no action against him?
No, Rajdeep, I can assure you that that's a subject matter of investigation. Like I said, the 5 people who have been arrested and the 5 people who were involved, it can't happen without professional support from the other side. One of them is seen with a TMC MLA, multiple photos of him. The other person is seen on multiple Andolan Jeevi protests.
So you are going to blame everyone but your MP who gave them a visitor's pass. Everyone you will blame but your own MP. You are blaming everyone but your own MP. The one who gave them the visitor's pass has nothing to do with this.
No, in my opening comments, I had said that across parties, till now, MPs have been a bit casual when you furnish your identity. A lot of them give visiting cards, and I think.
But I must imagine if it was a Danish Ali, you would have called for his head. I mean, the fact is, it seems government MPs are above the law.
Why not?
The moment it's an opposition, MP, you seem to have a problem. Anyway, Tuhin Sinha, Nasir Hussain, Yashovardhan Azad, I appreciate you joining us. I leave it to the people of this country to decide whether this is the way Parliament will continue to function. Suspend anyone whose face sometimes you don't like or opinions you don't like. Now, the question, of course, is who were these 4 people who came, or 2 of them intruded Parliament? Well, they come from different backgrounds, and they came allegedly to plot a security breach of Parliament. Here's more on them.
An e-rickshaw driver from Lucknow in his late 20s quoted India's independence hero Bhagat Singh and Argentine Marxist revolutionary Che Guevara in his social media post. A 34-year-old jobless computer engineer from Mysuru, believed to have interacted with other accused intruders on Bhagat Singh fans' Facebook page. A qualified teacher without a job from a village in Haryana's Jind district. She took part in the restless and farm protest. Son of farm labourers from a remote village in Maharashtra's Latur district, he unsuccessfully attempted several police and army recruitment exams. The question arises of how these 4 unemployed individuals with marginalized economic backgrounds from different geographical locations came together. Their audacious breach on India's parliament, coincidentally on the 22nd anniversary of the attack on its old building, raises eyebrows. An unlikely bunch, their actions left even their families in shock.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರೇ ಯಾವ ಕೆಷ್ಟು ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಇದು BA ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರೇ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅವನು ಯಾವುದು ಇದು ಸಮಾಜ ಘಾತಕವಾದ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವುದು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಯಾವುದು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಅವನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ವಿನ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರೇ
बिल्कुल निर्दोष है मेरा एक ही बेटा वो रिक्शा चलाता था और कोई कुछ नहीं बस वो देशभक्त के बारे में बात करता था बस इसी बारे में वो बहुत अच्छा लड़का था
सही किया भैया उसने वो सिर्फ नौकरी के लिए लड़ रही थी भैया नौकरी नहीं मिल रही थी वो बहुत परेशान थी बेचारी इतनी पढ़ी लिखी है उसे नौकरी भी नहीं मिल रही थी और जो कम पढ़े लिखे है उसमें तो पैसे देकर लग रहे हैं और इतनी पढ़ी लिखी है उसमें कोई नौकरी नहीं है ये तो फिर पैसों का खेल है भैया
Lalit Jha, an elusive suspect on the run. A student activist originally from Bihar and a known face in the West Bengal NGO scene shared the video of the intrusion to an associate. As the investigation unfolds, the puzzling question remains. Were the 5 suspects solely driven by frustration? Or were they handled and trained by a mastermind for months to execute the breach on India's parliament? Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's turn to the story coming out of Sabarimala in Kerala, which is witnessing an unprecedented rush of devotees. The waiting time for darshan running into many hours, which has forced hundreds of devotees to return without a darshan. Now it's become a political issue, with the Congress and BJP accusing the ruling left-front government there of completely mishandling the situation. Take a look.
Queues for darshan that last up to 13 hours. Sabarimala is witnessing unprecedented rush. Devotees of Ayyappa coming in thousands every day are facing bottlenecks at multiple locations, from base camp Nilakkal to Pamba river banks to finally the temple itself. An 11-year-old girl from Tamil Nadu died on Saturday while waiting in a queue for darshan. The police say she was suffering from heart ailment. The huge crowds and poor preparations have forced many devotees to return without darshan.
நிலக்கல் வரைக்கும் வந்தோம் நிலக்கல்லேருந்து எங்கள் பிரயாணம் படி இந்த 4 டேஸில் வந்து 2 டேஸ் ஆகுது தரிசனம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க நிலக்கல்லேருந்து பம்பைக்கு போகிறதுக்கு பஸ் கிடைக்கல நாங்கள் ராத்திரி 10 மணிக்கு வந்தோம் விடிகாலம் 4 மணிக்கு தான் பஸ் இருந்தாங்க
The Congress and BJP are blaming the Pinarayi Vijayan government for the mess. The BJP's youth wing staged protests against the government outside the secretariat in Thiruvananthapuram.
Chief Minister says that we did not expect this much of crowd in Sabarimala. It is a foolish, because every year the people are coming there. It is their duty and it is their privilege to come over to Sabarimala. Means it is, they have to perform their religious rites and also do offering for the Lord Ayyappa. The government is not taking any action to give basic amenities for the Ayyappa devotees there.
Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has rejected opposition charges.
ശബരിമലയിൽ അനിയന്ത്രിതമായ ഒരു അവസ്ഥയുമില്ല. എല്ലാം നിയന്ത്രണ വിധേയം തന്നെയാണ്. ഗൗരവമായി കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. തുടർന്നും ആ രീതിയിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ കഴിയുമെന്നാണ് കാണുന്നത്.
The Kerala government has decided to reduce the virtual queue booking limit by 10,000, setting a new maximum at 80,000 per day, down from the previous cap of 90,000. The bolster safety measures, a special rescue ambulance service, Kanivu 108 has started. The Kerala High Court on Tuesday instructed authorities to extend support to pilgrims reaching the shrine. The two-judge bench also directed the police to manage the crowd on the hilltop effectively.
While we remember the 2018 Sabarimala chapter that rocked Kerala politics before the 2019 general election, we are seeing one more time Sabarimala becoming the hot topic of Kerala politics before another general election. With video journalist Tinku Rajshekhar, Bimol KG for India Today from Thiruvananthapuram.
Let's turn from there to the story from Chennai. After cyclone Newstoday, parts of Chennai is now dealing with an oil spill which has contaminated water in and around the Ennore Creek, affecting the livelihood of fishermen. Even after 10 days, cleanup work is still in progress. It's our Get Real India story.
A man-made ecological mishap in Chennai has gone barely noticed as cyclone Newstoday lashed the city last week. An oil spill has contaminated water in and around the Ennore Creek. Nearly 10 days after the spill, the cleanup is yet to pick up pace, with fishermen doing bulk of the work. The initial report by the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, relying on details provided by the Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, stated there was no leak. The National Green Tribunal, taking note of the incident, sought a detailed report from the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board and the Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited. Amidst this, the Coast Guard, using helicopters and special equipment, conducted an aerial survey on the 9th and 10th of December and said there is no damage to the sensitive ecosystem. Meanwhile, the MK Stalin government held a high-level meeting and instructed the CPCL to clear the mess. The CPCL issued a statement claiming 60 boats and equipment were deployed at the creek for the cleanup operations. While a series of statements would indicate serious action on ground, an India Today reality check exposed these claims. We found that fishermen from the neighboring villages had been hired to clean the spill, and they are doing so using mugs and barrels.
We are inside Ennore Creek, and on the side you could see the kind of infrastructure, the Ennore power plant and such, and this is a fishermen's community and this is a very sensitive area. But because of Cyclone Newstoday, a major disaster has occurred over here, which apparently has not gained the importance. You could see the kind of damage the oil has already done to this area. Now CPCL, that is Chennai Petroleum Corporation, kind of claims that they are there was no oil leak. Even after there is no oil leak, how much this oil came to this port is something that they have to answer.
The fishermen say the oil spill has impacted their livelihoods.
எண்ணெய் வந்து இதோட 2 வாரமா இருக்கு. 2 வாரமா கடலுக்கு போயிட்டு இருக்கு. யாரும் அந்த நம்ம பிசினஸ் டிபார்ட்மென்ட், போலீஸ் டிபார்ட்மென்ட் இவங்க தான் வந்து நீங்க எண்ணெய் எடுத்து கொடுங்கன்னு சொல்லி இருக்காங்க. Fisheries and police deployment have employed them to clear this oil over here. CPCL also. இந்த ஆயில் இங்க எவ்வளவு இங்க இது வந்து இங்க தங்கன ஆயிலுங்க. இது மாதிரி 2 வாரமா கடலுக்கு போயிட்டு இருக்கு. இதோட நீளம் வந்து குறைஞ்சது 250 மீட்டர் இருக்கு. இந்த மவுத்.
This entire mouth that connects to the sea is nearly 250 meters and it's completely covered with oil. இந்த drumல fill பண்ணி யாரு கொடுக்க போறீங்க?
அவங்க CPSL அவங்க வண்டியை தந்துக்கறாங்க. அவங்க வந்து எடுத்து போறத சொல்லிக்கறாங்க.
Opposition leader and former fisheries minister D. Jayakumar, who visited the spot, held the CPCL responsible for the mess.
One, the livelihood been affected. So what are the boats are get damaged? The boats actually, those the boat get damaged, that should be eliminated and given relief. Then nets are actually 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs. All are actually with the oil only. You might be seen that no, all are actually mixed with oil. No, they never used. No, so for 4 or 5 lakhs are ultimate total loss.
Environmentalists insist the cleanup effort began late, which allowed the spill to spread.
These men are working here hour after hour to clear this spot because this is their homeland, and they're also putting forward questions as to why nobody else is bothered about the environment at this spot. This is Daniel from Madhav for India Today.
And that's all we could pack in on the news today. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind. Shubh Ratri.